Hello everyone, welcome to DocEngage. This is Jayashree. In this video, I'm going to show you the complete workflow of rental and renewal equipments. Since it is a home care process, the services and the equipments are provided to the patient location. So we are going to give all the equipments to the patient location, patient home. The hospital can provide all this equipment for rental or even they can be sold to the patient. To manage all these rental and sales equipments, DocEngage inventory can be helpful for all the home care businesses. So now let me show you the workflow for the rental and renewal equipments. So first I'll go to this inventory configuration where I need to add a category for the rental and renewal equipment. So I'll add one rental and renewal category. To add the category, I need to select add category, and here I need to select the rental equipment and write the category name. I'll write rental and renewal category as a category name, and then I'll show the visibility as save. I'll write rental rental and renewal, and then the status as I'll set the status as active and just save. So whatever the category I have added will show in the list page. And rental equipment, it is the category name, and that is a category. The category type is rental equipment, and I have given the category name as rental and renewal. And then next one, if I want to add any subcategory, I can add the subcategory also. In the subcategory, I can select rental and renewal. And if I want to give any subcategories, I can write the subcategory name and save. Right now, I don't want to add any subcategory. I'm just skipping that. Next, manufacturer name. I can add the manufacturer names for this rental and renewal equipments. Who is going to manufacture, like for example, oxygen cylinders or any oxygen concentrators, ventilators, or any other rental equipments. We can add that manufacturer name in the brand master. To add the brand master name, just click on add brand master name, give the manufacturer name and set the status as active. Just say that manufacturer name will show in this list page. And next, vendor, we'll add the vendor name, whichever the vendor who is going to supply the equipments to us, we'll write that particular vendor name here. So I have added one vendor name already here. To add the vendor name, just click on add vendor name, write the vendor name, address, city, contact information, GST number. You can fill all the mandatory fields and who is the contact person, and just save. You can add vendor name. After adding all this subcategory, manufacturer name, vendor's name, then you can go to the products. You can add the product, whichever products you are going to keep it for rental and renewal, you are going to sell. You can add that products into this product field. Here you can add the product for the rental and renewal. I'm going to show how to add the product. If you want to add any other products like sale equipments, then you can add. You can refer one more video which I have done for the inventory. Since this is a rental workflow, I'm just going to show you the workflow for the rental equipments. So right now I have created one rental equipment category. I'll select the rental and renewal category, and here I'll select the manufacturer name. So right now I'm going to add the product 5 lpm oxygen cylinder. I'll add for that. This is the manufacturer name, and I'll write the product name here, 5 lpm oxygen cylinder. And then I'll just write the reorder level and reorder quantity. Reorder level is nothing but whenever the stock limit is going to reach this level, it should give us a notification saying that you have low stock. So I'll just write the reorder level and what is the reorder quantity that I want to add I want to give to vendors whenever the quantity is going to become low, whenever the stock is in the becomes low. And next, what is the dispense quantity? Whenever I'm selling this particular product, how much I'm going to dispense. So since I'm adding a oxygen cylinder, whenever I'm whenever I'm going to give this particular product for rent, rental and renewal, how much unit I need to give. So I'll write 1 each. And what is the MRP for this particular product, and let us say 3000, and what is the selling price I have given, and just save. Product has been added successfully and it is showing here. Since I have added the product now, I want to since I am going to give this particular product for the rental and renewal, I need to associate this particular product to a service, which whenever a provider is selecting that service, this particular product should be associated to that service and should go to the patient house. So I'll go to this platform settings. In the settings, there is service. In the service catalog, I'll add this service type, service catalog. Here I'll write the name as 5 lpm oxygen cylinder, and for this I need to select what is the service type. It is the equipment on rental. It is very much mandatory to select this equipment on rental, because we are going to add this service for the rental rental and renewal part. So it is very much mandatory for you to select this service type, and you can select service, you can, rest of the thing will be same. And what is the cost for this particular service you need to add. And then there is one more thing called has consumables and equipments. You need to select this and check this box, and this consumable and equipment field will open. Here you need to select what is the category. Since it is rental and renewal, I'll select rental and renewal. Here whatever the products which are there in this rental and renewal, it will show here. I need to select one. I have added 5 lpm oxygen cylinder here, and I want to associate 5 lpm oxygen cylinder to this particular service. I'll add that. And what is the service cost? So I'll write it is 3000, or I can write 4000. So I'll just write 3000 for now, and 3000 is the service cost, because the cost price and the selling price for this particular rental equipment is 3000, and the service cost will also be the same. And it depends on the hospital, whatever the service cost they are charging for the patient. And then you can just save the service. Has been added successfully. You can see that in the list the service had been added successfully. Now that you have added the category and added the product, and you have also associated that product with the service, now you need to add the stocks into the inventory. So we'll go to the stocks. You can create the purchase order to the vendor, get approval, and then create the purchase invoice. If you refer the inventory video, you'll have better knowledge on how to create purchase order and how to add the stocks. I'm just going to show you the workflow. So let me go directly into the stocks. Here I'll add the purchase invoice. Add purchase invoice. I need to select the vendor, whoever is going to supply me this particular product to me, and then I'll add the purchase invoice reference ID. Let us say it is 99,000, 99,002, and then date, I have received this purchase invoice today, and the mode of payment was cash. Done. And here just now I have added rental equipment. It is showing here 5 lpm oxygen cylinder. I'll select this product and I'll see what is the MRP, and I need to add the cost price for this particular uh, product. Or you can also write the cost price, how you are adding the cost price. It is your organization. Then, and the pack quantity here it is showing is 1. Whenever we are adding a rental and renewal equipment, we cannot change the quantity of the pack because asset code and serial number may differ from each product. So this oxygen cylinder which I'm adding may have a different serial number, and the other oxygen cylinder which is there will have a different serial number. So each time whenever you are adding a purchase invoice, you will be adding the stock uh, separately only. So I'll add the asset code. Let us say AS 156, and then the serial number. I can add the serial number like 50 serial number I have added, and then just save. I have added the product. I can add more if I want. Let us say I want to add one more. What is the cost price and what is the asset code? So asset means all the equipments which are there in your hospital will become your assets. So each equipment will have their own asset codes. Like oxygen cylinder may have a different asset code, ventilator may have a different asset code. So it depends on uh, each product. So let us say this is AS 156 is asset code, and the serial number may change. Serial number like 51, and save. In this particular purchase invoice, I have received two quantity and I'm going to save this two quantity. Stock has been added successfully. I can check that in the stocks here. 5 LPM oxygen cylinder is there. And if I scroll, I can see I have received one quantity and available quantity is 1 and 1. It is showing available quantity is also, item is also 1 and 1. And the status is active. You can see the status as active, and the batch number it is showing, serial number is showing, and which case center it is added, it is showing case center name. And if I add expiry date, that expiry date will also show here. MRP, vendor price, and what is the selling price, total selling price, all the details will be shown. If I had tax, that tax price will also show here in the list page. So now I have added the category, and then I have added the product. I have associated that product to a service, and now I have added the stock also. Next thing is I want to create a pharma invoice. Till now I have showed how to add the product into inventory. Now I'm going to give now right now I'm going to give this particular product to patient, which means I'm going to deploy I'm going to build this product for a patient, and I'm going to deploy it into the patient location. So for that I need to go to pharma invoice. In the pharma invoice I need to add a pharma invoice. I'll select a patient called Sanjana, and at which case center I'll select the case center, and then I'll select the home delivery. If it is a home delivery, I'll select home delivery. Since we are going to give a home care service, I'll select home delivery, and I can change the status also if I want to change, like in progress, delivered, or cancelled. Right now it is still in pending, so I'll keep pending and save. Done. And then I can select the vendor also. If the vendor is directly going to deploy this into the patient house, I can select that also. And then in the equipment services here, in the equipment services, I can see all the rental and renewal equipments which I have added. I have added 10 LPM oxygen cylinder and 5 LPM oxygen cylinder. I want to install the 5 LPM oxygen cylinder in to the patient house. So I'll select this, and here I can select whichever provider who has who has as told, who has prescribed this particular oxygen cylinder to the patient. I'll write that provider name and what is the quantity, how much I want to give, and duration, how many days I want to give this product as a rental equipment. Let us say for 3 days. For 3 days, I'll be giving this oxygen cylinder for rental. After 3 days, I'll mark as complete and I'll get back the equipment to the hospital. Means I can write the number of days like duration, and then I need to select the equipment here. If I click on this, it will show all the equipment with the asset code 5 LPM. Since I have added 5 LPM service or product here, it is showing the equipments which are available in the hospital. So I'll select in the which are available in the inventory. So I'll select one from this, and then security deposit. Security deposit means deposit is nothing but we are collecting some advance amount from the patient. Like we'll collect some advance amount if the while returning the equipment, if the patient has damaged anything, so we can deduct the money from this security deposit which patient has given to the hospital. So this makes the job easier for the hospital people to collect the damage amount. So let us say I am receiving damage amount security deposit as 2000 rupees from the patient before installing the equipment to the patient location. I'll receive the security deposit 2000, and if I want to add any discount tax I can add, and also sold by name, and just save. Now I have added the product. I can receive the payment directly from here, or I can just save. I'll just save now. Invoice added successfully. Now if I go to Pharma Invoice, I can see the invoice which I have just now, which I have created. Pharma Invoice for the patient called Sanjana, I have created one, and the net amount is 9,000. So I can see here for this net amount will be calculated for each day. We are charging them 3,000 for the product. If we are installing it for 3 days, it becomes like 3 into whatever the price we are charging for the equipment. So 3 into 3,000 is 9,000. So the net amount it is showing as 9,000 rupees. And the total amount, due amount, everything it is showing here. Now it is showing total deposit amount, yet to like deposit yet to pay. We can see all the information here, visitor ID also. And if I click on this three dots action button here, I have the option to receive the payment, deposit amount, to receive the deposit, to receive the payment for the invoice. So let us correct the deposit amount first. I'll receive the deposit amount, which is 2000. I have added while creating the pharma invoice. I'll select the mode of payment and save. Security deposit has been successfully received. So if I go to security deposit payments here, I can see the deposit payment which they have done and the mode of payment as well. It is showing by the date, time, and patient name also. And next, if I go there and I want to receive the invoice also, I can receive the payments. This is 9,000. I can select the mode of payment and save. Now status has been marked completed since I have received the payments. Now I have received the deposit, I have received the invoice amount also. Now I need to install this equipment into the patient location. For that, if I go to equipment rentals, I need to select by service date. If I select service by service date, it will show the all the pending or all the list line items that are there for today. Since I have selected the filter as today, only today's line items are showing here. If I click on this three dots, once the deployment is done in the patient location, we can mark as deployed. Let us imagine that now the product has been, well, let us imagine that uh, we have created a purchase in pharma invoice, and we have also received the payment. Now we have taken the product equipment and installed in the patient location also. Now I want to mark it as deployed. I'll mark this as deployed. From the status pending, it is showing now as deployed. If I go into the stocks and see now the equipment which I have selected, now status would have changed. See, now the status is showing as in use. Till now it was active. Since this equipment is in use, it is showing as in use. So if I go back to the equipment rentals and service by date, by service date, now it is deployed. Let us imagine that after 3 days, the patient or provider wants to renew this particular equipment. Let us say they want to continue the service for another 3 more days. At that time, we can do the renewal also by checking on this box. We'll get one new renew option. If I click on this renew, I can renew this. I can also create the activity. So let me show you how to renew. If I click on this renew, this product details, it came to Pharma Invoice again. Here I can edit this and change the duration. Of if I want to change renew for 4 days, I can renew, or 2 days, I can renew and save. If I renew this particular Pharma Invoice, then the whatever the uh, line item which was there till now, and it was saying that it is still in pending, that pending status will change into complete, and one more line item will be added, and the invoice will be automatically generated. So let me save. So now you can see this is completed. The status changed from pending to completed. If I go by receive date, since it is by service date only, it is showing only for today. Whatever the equipment that has to be deployed today, it is showing here. Let us say for next 7 days, I'll mark. See, here I can see this pending status. I have renewed this status for 5 LPM. I have renewed this particular equipment, so it is still showing pending. I'll mark this as deployed. It has been deployed now. From the deployed status, initially from the deployed status, it's changed to completed. Now, and one more line item was added, and if I mark this as deployed, the status will again change to pending, from pending to deployed. And if the patient's service, like if the patient service has ended, now I want to mark this as completed. I want to get the equipment back to the in hospital, means I can click on this and mark as completed. Let us say that service has been completed. I want to mark this as completed. It is completed now. If I go into stock and see what is happening in the stock, I can see that 5 LPM oxygen cylinder was in use. Right now it is under cleaning. Since we have bought that equipment back, it is showing that it is under cleaning. So if I go back to Pharma Invoice, here I have marked it as completed. I'll go back to Pharma Invoice. I want to refund the security deposit amount which I have received from the patient. So let us imagine that patient has, this is invoice. Let us imagine that patient has damaged the product. So for that, we can create an estimation. This is the invoice which I have created for, which is created for renewal. When I renewed the equipment, I have renewed it for 2 days, so it is showing 6,000, and it is still in invoice status since we have not received the payment. So let us receive the payment first for the renewed equipment. Right now, I have renewed, and the patient has let us imagine that patient has damaged the uh, equipment. So for that, I need to create an estimation for whatever the damage that they have done. So let us say that they have damaged it 5 LPM oxygen cylinder. I'll add this product, and what is the damage cost. For the damage which they have done, let us say it is 500 rupees damage cost. And what is the reason? They have damaged the tube. So I'll write damage the tube and create an estimation. Estimation has been added successfully. So if I go on to this action button again, and sorry, I need to refresh. Since I have not refreshed, it is still showing the create estimation. Now I'll go to this actions button. It is asking for me to update. I can update the estimation if I want to update. Like I can check if there is any more damage. If I find some more damages, means I can update the estimation again. Now I'll just receive the damage payment. Whatever the damage estimation I have created for the damage, I'll receive that damage payment. Receive damage payment. See, I have given the estimation of 500 rupees and it is showing 500 rupees, and mode of payment will be settlements against the deposit amount. Whatever the security deposit which we have collected from the patient, from that amount, this settlement will be done. I'll save this. Security deposit has been done successfully. Now I have received a security deposit amount. I have created an estimation for the damage which the patient have done for the equipment, and I have also received the damaged payment also. Now I want to refund the remaining amount, security deposit amount. So I can refund the deposit. If I click on refund, the amount which I received for the deposit was 2000, and the estimation damage amount was 500, and the remaining amount of 2000 minus 500, remaining 1500 amount is showing here, and I can select the mode of payment which I'll be doing, and the which mode I'm going to refund. I'm showing here it is a mode of cash, and I'll save. Now I have refunded the deposit also. I hope you all understood, so I'll just tell you the complete workflow again. First one is I have, for the product to add into our inventory, I need to create an category, subcategory I can create if it is required. Then I'll add the product. After adding the product, I'll associate this particular product with the service. After associating the service, I have added the stocks to the inventory. After adding, this is for us to add the stock into our into our inventory. Now to give this particular equipment for rental to a patient, I need to create a pharma invoice. And while creating the pharma invoice, I'll receive a security deposit. After receiving the security deposit, I'll deploy this particular equipment into the patient house. If I want, I can do the renewal. After doing the renewal, I can mark this as after the service is ended. I can mark the status into completed, and then after completing, if there is any damage in the product, I can create an estimation for the damage which the patient has done, and can receive the damage amount from the security deposit which they have given us, and remaining whatever the security deposit amount is there, we can refund that also. And one more thing is like, we can notify the provider when, since you will be giving a home care service for many patients, you will not remember which patient return time is, when the patient has to, when the provider has to get the equipment returned to the inventory. So for that we have a notify option also. You can go to inventory configurations. Here you can see inventory configuration. We have one feature here, equipment rental notification to team before. I can set that how many days how many days before I need to get the notification to collect the equipment from the patient location. So I have given 1 day here. You can give based on your organization requirement. You can give the notification days. How many, for which team to give before how many days. So I told it will be notifying the team, which team it will notify and when it will, how it will notify. For that, once you give the day, you can just update. You can for which team to give the notification, you can go to provider and configure team. Here you can add the team. You can give the team name, select the care center, and also you can write the reporting manager. Here you can select the uh, whatever the default team it is there, you can select teams. And then here in the responsibility for, if you select here, you can, if you see here, you can here equipment verification team. You can select this equipment verification team and create one team and add the providers into that team. Whoever the provider who are there in this particular team will get a notification to collect the equipment from the patient's location. I hope you all understood the complete workflow for rental and renewal equipment. See you all in the next video.